Hey there, friends. Welcome to Spicy Cat Colors. I'm Kathy. We're going to do a color and a chat because I haven't done one for a long time. And again, I try to do 2 a month and we're pushing the end of the month. It's going to be a push. I thought it would be fun to color in this, which is my newest book, Stone Mosaic, stress-free color by number book. It is book number 3. It is by Belba family. I don't know if I have all the colors. I've not colored in this yet. I think I already said that. So we are going to just start from the back. And I have no idea what the picture is. Can you guys tell what it is? I don't know that I can. Hopefully the lighting, I can't tell. Wait a minute. Is it can't? Oh, there you go. The lens was partly covered. So let's just dive in here. I'm going to be using alcohol markers and hopefully I just have like a mini set out here and I have everything I need. I don't really know what we got. So what's been going on, friends? How are you? There's not any yellow. Oh, there it is. I don't know if there's any yellow on here. This is one of those where they list all of the colors over here, but you don't know if you actually need it. But I have a yellow marker right here that I wanted to use. Never mind. How about just red? Do we need red? Because again, I have a red marker. Should have really planned this a little bit better. First thing they want is peach. I don't have any peach. Don't need any skin tone. Where can we go next? Orange. I have orange. Let us use orange. Again, do I need orange? Guys, I'm like hot mess. Hot mess express 6. What the heck color is orangerid? Okay, I see it now. Anybody else? Anybody? Orange red. Oranged. I believe it's orange red. They forgot the space. So in case you're like me and you're like, what's oranged? It's orange red. But I don't need that one either. I need a red brown. Do I have a red brown? Boy, this is like, I'm not doing good. Need red, brown, brown. So let's just use a brown. It might be 94, we're going to say is orange red. Or I mean red brown. Number 6. Okay, so how is everybody? I have had a crazy month of May. So what happened, okay, this is where, am I supposed to go out to the edge of the lines? Maybe this wasn't a good one to start with. Yeah, so the company I work for, well, my husband works for it too, purchased another facility down in Arizona, Yuma, Arizona. So a team went there to help them get set up, switched over to our system, all of that. We did not go as far as the travel crew, but we were left here as part of the stay behind and cover for the people that are gone crew. So my husband's actually worked more than I did, but both of us are about exhausted tonight. So I'm filming this in the morning and I'll go to sleep after I film this. So I apologize in advance if I sound tired. But tonight will be the first night that my regular work partner, Mr. D, is back. He's been gone this whole time in Yuma, and we have been working extra shifts. Well, I worked anyway, and then it happened that somebody was on vacation. That's on the opposite shift. So the bad part about working the night shift, I actually love the night shift. I will never complain about working the night shift. But most people don't like to work the night shift. So there's 2 of us, 2 alternating shifts that work. Basically, we have 4 shifts that do the job that I am trained for currently. And there are 12-hour shifts. You have your day shifts and your night shifts, and we have like a rotating schedule. So when somebody on the opposite night shift wants time off, well, the day people are never going to step up because they don't like the night shift. Most of them worked their way out of the night shift. Already learning. I'm going out. Ugh, this is going to look so sloppy. I'm so sorry. Maybe I should be using the bullet tip, but then that seems like it's gonna, I don't know, maybe we'll do that on some of the smaller ones. I do notice with this alcohol marker set, if you use the bullet tip, they don't bleed as much as the chisel, I suppose because they're not as juicy. Anyway, so we're still all entitled to our vacation, so a lady on the opposite shift took a full week off. And it was what we call her long week, meaning you work Monday, Tuesday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So between Eddie and I, we covered her shift. Plus Eddie was covering working the 12-hour shifts with me, which normally Mr. D would be doing. And yeah, we're just exhausted. So I've been working a lot, which is why I have not been on here filming. I've been trying to watch and comment as I watch people's videos. So I've been around and I've been trying to be good about posting regularly on Instagram. I've been able to keep up with my buddy colors, well, except for the one that both of us work along shifts and we're attempting a Kirby double page spread. So that one, you know, that's okay. There's no rush. We're both agreed to, we'd rather take our time and enjoy it and not rush through it because of a deadline. So that, you know, it can take 6 months. I honestly am fine with it. I have been able to still color quite a bit, which makes me happy because I've needed something to unwind and de-stress a little bit. And yeah, I don't know my total pages yet for the month. We'll do all that coming up, but I have been coloring. Sometimes at work, I'm able to sneak in a little bit of coloring if it's a slow night. But to be honest, it's just been crazy. It's been kind of stressful. And don't tell him, but a lot of the stress has been having to work so much with my husband. Now, my in-laws, they work together like seriously side by side at the same, you know, seriously, they could reach out and touch one another for 11 years in one company where they were, you know, went to work together, worked next to each other all day, came home, were together all day. And I applaud them. I love my husband, but he can drive me crazy working with him. He's still new, but he's not that new. And there's a lot of things I think he just doesn't want to learn how to do, and it drives me crazy because he's had more time and training than anybody else that's ever been hired for that position. So sometimes I'm hard on him. Sometimes I just give up and I'll just do things because I can't see them not getting done correctly. But today's kind of fun because, again, somebody's still not back from Arizona that works on the day shift. But since my night guy's back, Eddie volunteered to work the day shift. So he went into work at 6 a.m. and I will be relieving him at 6 p.m. He was so funny because I was still awake because I stay awake all night, even on my days off. So I keep a schedule, and I saw him off to work and I'm like, you'd better do a good job. There's a real witch coming in the next shift, and if things are messed up, she's gonna be ticked because I'll be back at the desk where he's working right now. He just kind of laughed, but it's different. I've worked the day shift and the night shift, and they both have pluses and minuses. It just drives me a little nuts because a lot of the day shifters think they have it so much more difficult. And it's like, you guys don't even know. You just have a different difficult. So I think any of the jobs, it's like there's different things that come up during different shifts, and one's not more important or more challenging. It's just different, but not everybody sees that. So anyway, I love my night shift. So I've been working a lot. That's why you haven't seen me making videos. Just life is what it is. We had to break down and turn the air conditioning on. It was really, really humid through the weekend and even now the beginning of the week, and then it was hot yesterday. And I don't like having to turn the air conditioning on in May. Seriously, beginning of May, it was actually cold. We had the fireplace still on. So I'm hoping it's just a fluke and we get a little bit more mild spring yet. But before you know it, it'll just be hot all the time. And I do not like hot. I think I'm one of the... I should ask. Am I one of the rare people? I don't care for summer. Summer is my least favorite season. It is... I don't like to be hot. I don't like bugs. I'm not a gardener. I don't like being out in the dirt. I'm not necessarily a beach person. I love like sitting by the lake in the shade with a cool breeze and a cool beverage. But I don't want to be, I'm not one, I don't like to be out in the water unless I'm, even when I do, hopefully we get to do it this year. I like to go to water exercise, and that should be starting up, and they usually have like a 6:15 or 6:30 in the morning class that I would attend, and it was perfect because I could go right after work. And I loved it because it wasn't hot yet, and the whole pool isn't open, so you don't have a bunch of kids and families enjoying themselves, which they are certainly allowed to do, but it can be difficult if you're trying to do an exercise class. So hopefully that will come. So that's my kind of summer. Otherwise it's like, nope, sit in the shade, in the AC, just not a hot weather type of person. And I never have been. I mean, even as a kid, it's like I'd go, I don't know, bike ride and stuff, but again, I didn't like being hot. I'm just always hot, so it's like, why do I want it to be more hot? So I don't know. Maybe I'm the exception. I know people, you would think living in Minnesota where we do have quite a bit of cold weather, that I would look forward to the summer and the break. But no. I love spring, and it never lasts long enough. We kind of go from, basically I call it the muddy season, where the snow melts and everything is dirt and mud, and then it just gets scorching hot right away. And humidity. Humidity is not my friend. Makes my asthma flare up, so I can't breathe. It makes my hair flare up, meaning get super frizzy. And but we'll see. You know, I have no idea what this is, but what do you want to bet? It's going to be like a summer picture. Maybe not. Maybe it's, I think I know what it is. I don't think it's a summer picture. Good. So, excuse me. Good. I'm glad. And I may be able to change some of the colors that I don't have. Still not sure what's the big thing with peach, but we'll see. Working on my red brown, which is really just a version of brown. I do think the bullet tip is working better. It's much easier to control and definitely not as much bleed out as when I was using the chisel, which I guess is okay. There is a time and a place for everything. So that's been my exciting life, is all pretty much work. Sorry, make sure I'm still kind of in frame. Hopefully you're coloring. What are you coloring? Are you coloring while you listen to me rattle on? I would love to know what you're coloring. I did, well, it'll be fun to see. So my May theme was spring and Mother's Day, or mom, things that I guess specifically for me meant mom or reminded me of mom. So I'm excited to show my pages, and just some regular. Obviously, when I say I have a theme, I don't make every page fit into it, but if I'm looking to color in a certain book, the theme helps me to pick a page, and sometimes even a book. I'm not for sure what I'm going to do for June yet. June is Father's Day, so I think for sure it'll be fun to do. I don't have a lot of masculine pages, but I think it'll be fun to try and do pages maybe that make me think of my dad or remember my dad. Pardon my sippage. Because I've said it before, both my parents have passed on, and it's a big hole in my heart and life, so I really do enjoy doing things as simple as coloring pages that make me remember them. It's one of those, I still feel them and their presence, and I know they are watching me, and I truly believe I will see them again. Just not on this side of heaven, but I still miss them a lot. It's, like I said, even though I feel their presence, it's not the same. It's not the same as a hug or picking up the phone and actually having a conversation. So, like I said, just doing things like in a coloring page that makes me remember them, it helps my soul a bit. And people are like, well, if they're dead and gone, what do you mean you still think they're around or feel their presence? But I truly believe that if you are close to someone, parent, spouse, whatever, friend, if there's someone that is a very big part of your life, your living life, and you love them immensely, once they pass, I don't think they just go away. I don't think that connection is overdone, severed, never to be felt again. So I'm Christian. I believe in God and heaven, and I'm not here to have a religious type of conversation. I'm just letting you know my belief. But whatever your belief is, even if that's not it, you know, we all have a soul, and I just believe our soul is still there as a spirit, or however you want to look at it. And if there was someone that was so close to you while they were living, that connection doesn't go away. You still have that invisible thread connecting your hearts, and it's very possible that you have moments where they are able to get a message to you. But I don't know where that conversation came from. Holy smokes, I was just trying to figure out what I'm going to color in June. So Father's Day, but then I'm not sure yet. Not sure what else to do with Father's Day. So I usually have like a twofer. Like I said, it was Mother's Day and spring. Not really ready to dive into summer yet, though, for June. So, I don't know, maybe I'll do something like flowers, or, yeah, maybe I'll do flowers. I like flowers, and it's kind of summery, springy, but not full on. And Lord knows we have a lot of flowers in our coloring books, so. Or I could pick an animal. I don't know. I have time to decide yet. Animals. I probably need to talk to you guys about animals. The elephant in the room, or the lack thereof. Let me get my next color before we get into this topic, because I'm not looking forward to it. Just not looking forward to it. So what's the difference between scarlet and red? I have to look back. Oh, so scarlet is that which is red. Well, we're gonna say it's carmine. So, even though I haven't been making lots of videos, You may have noticed the last video I did make, I had a lovely guest appearance from Frankie, one of my cats, who just jumped on in, plopped his butt down on top of my page as I was coloring. So that was fun, and then Huey came to join him. But there was somebody missing that normally comes. So please, I beg of you friends, don't judge me and don't give me negative comments because I'm already a wreck. But Gabby is no longer with us. Not like passed on like I've just been talking about. She is still alive and well and sassy and spunky. She is just no longer a part of the SpiceyCatColors household. Let me tell you what happened. So, my dear lovely Gabby, she really is, you know, you've met her, you all know her. She's sweet. She's like sassy, and I loved her. I still love her. But Gabby had a problem. And I think I'd mentioned it before, but I never really dwelled on it. So I don't know why. I will still blame the year 2020 because I could not get her into a veterinarian to get spayed. She actually went through heat 2 or 3 times. And I don't know because any pet dog or cat I've ever had has always been spayed or neutered before they went into heat or started spraying and marking. But because I couldn't get in because places were closed, Gabby had to go through the heat process a couple times, which is miserable for the pet and the pet moms and dads. So whether that was the reason or not, but basically, and I think it was even before then, she just, her catitude was intense. She would urinate on things other than her litter box. Plastic bags were a big thing. Her clothing was a big thing. And it wasn't all the time, but it was more than it was like, oh, this is an accident. Or that it was an illness. I cannot tell you how many times and this is not an easy task to get a urine sample from a cat or syringe up said urine sample from wherever she decided to urinate and take it to the vet and rule out. She did not ever have a UTI or any. We took her in and did like full medical, like is there something else wrong with her that is causing her to act out in this manner? And my veterinarian, who I absolutely love, she has been there for me in some very dark times. She just basically told me it's behavioral and she's not happy about something, and you can try and identify what it is, but it's doubtful she will change her behavior. And we couldn't tell. She wasn't aggressive towards any of the other cats. They were not aggressive towards her. She certainly, I mean, we aren't aggressive towards her. The cats pretty much rule the house here. And I made sure we have like 8 or 9 litter boxes for them to choose from. So there's plenty of bathroom opportunities, shall I say. And I tried everything. I like researched everything. I tried the calming collars. I tried calming treats. I tried basically anything. I just have to look to see what they say are these colors. I just kept trying to find out what was wrong. What could I do to help her not be angry? And the tipping point was when I got home from my vacation, I figured, well, she was mad that I was gone. Now, I could understand if my husband had been gone as well, and, you know, they'd been left alone and just like a cat sitter had come in, which we do whenever that happens, which has not happened hardly at all in her life. But I got home and she had peed in like my clothes basket. And I was like, okay. I mean, I found it right when I got home and I'm like, okay, well, we're going to give you that one as a pass because maybe you were mad I was gone. And the funny thing is, she wasn't super, I mean, yeah, she would like plop down here and demand attention. And she was very playful, but she didn't like want to be, I never could, if I picked her up, she wasn't content. She didn't like to be held in that manner. She would come and sit on my lap and let me scratch her and pet her and brush her and all that. But mostly she liked just attention when I was coloring. And then she would plop down and I would give her, you know, that's when I would get the good brushing to help her with her mats and stuff. But yeah, she wasn't like she was super emotionally attached. We have no idea. But then so within a week, she had peed on, so my clean clothes. And then she peed on another basket with clean bedding in it. Again, even if it was dirty or clean, it doesn't matter. But if any of you have had to deal with pet urine, you pretty much just have to throw away whatever fabric. If you catch it the moment it happens and can get it to a sink and start washing, you know, flushing it out, you might have a chance. But once it's in there, I don't care how many times you wash and with what you wash, it is always a lingering odor. So she did that. And then she also, what did she do? There was a pillow on a dining room chair. And like right before we were getting to work, I looked over and I'm like, oh, look at that. She just peed all over that. So I threw that away. And then the next day, same thing. I caught her on top of the table and went over and yep, fresh urine again. So I didn't know what else to do. We can't, I mean, if you want to think I'm a bad person, I can't control what you think of me. But honestly, I tried everything I could and it killed me because I don't give up on people. I don't give up on animals. We had another pet that did the opposite. He would poop everywhere but the litter box. And same thing, we couldn't figure out why or what. But the thing was, it was a lot easier to clean. So we just rolled with it. We kept trying and he would, yeah. But this one, it doesn't work. It's like we have hardwood floors. There are spots I don't know. I'm like, are we gonna have to pull the boards out? We're still finding places that we didn't know. But so, sound like I'm making excuses, but that's what I'd been living with for about the past year. Trying to find out why, what I could do. And it was like, well, maybe she just doesn't like, she wants to be the only cat. We all know she was a diva. And I can't get rid of the rest of my cats. They were fine. And so she went to live on a farm. Now, again, don't think, remember, it's like when you have your pet and they disappear and your parents are like, oh, they went to live on a farm. No, she's really living on a farm right now. One of my very good friends and co-workers has a farm. And she knows Gabby. She loves Gabby. And she knows what I've been dealing with. She's listened to me and she's like, I wouldn't put up with it. But she has always offered, or, you know, as this was getting worse, she's like, well, you know, she can always come live in the barn. And after that last time, I texted her and I said, will you for sure take her? We can't do this anymore. So she is now living not very far away. So this is where I have a lot of guilt. And part of me is like dying and wants to like go check on her and see her, but I know that would probably make it worse. She is adapting to her new home. She was spayed. She still has all her claws, so she's able to defend herself. And I sent her to my friend's house in her carrier, and it was tough. And my friend said, well, she was, it took a couple days. She didn't tell me everything because she didn't want me to worry, but basically she didn't eat for a few days. And she's living in a barn. And she can be like the queen of the whole barnyard, but she's just slowly. So she's in this barn, and it just cracks me up. If you saw Gabby or knew her, can you imagine? She like comes out of this carrier, and she's only been with us. She was abandoned. We got her as a kitten from a different set of friends who had 3 kittens abandoned by the mama. So they were bottle fed by our friends and raised in a house with dogs. And that's how we came to get Gabby. So she gets out of her carrier and she's in this barn. And my friend recently just acquired 2 calves and 2 pigs, baby pigs. So she walks out and walks right into the pen with the calves, not scared at all of these animals that are giant compared to her. Except then one of them was curious and bent down and licked her. Like, oh, I wonder what she tastes like. And she just like went hissing and crazy, evidently, according to my friend. But then she ran right back to her carrier. So since then, she has made friends with the calves, and she frequently hangs out with them in their pen. She will even tolerate she doesn't really like it. One of the calves likes to lick her. Not going to hurt her or anything, just likes to lick her. But she likes the calves. She does not like the pigs. Yet. She's still getting used to it. They are super noisy. If you've ever been on a farm or raised animals, pigs are noisy. They are grunting, and it's not like cute oink oink. They are making noise. So she's not real impressed with them. She has met the other cat. There is a tomcat. His name is Crush. And they got along fine. They didn't really care either way about each other. So that's good. And as of now, she has not yet met the dogs. So the challenge will be when she meets the dogs for her to be her typical Gabby diva self and stare them down and not run away. If she runs away, game on. Otherwise, she'll be fine if she lets them know. She's not going to have any of that. And she's loved. My girlfriend's like, oh my God, she doesn't shut up. Her boys go out to do the chores, and she's like, oh, did you talk to Gabby? Oh my gosh, she wouldn't shut up. So she's talking and purring, and she is as happy as she can be in her new home. And we feel very badly, but again, we tried everything that we could think of and that the internet could tell us to think of. So I miss her, but you will not be seeing her anymore. So, and it just makes me so sad because, I mean, I don't want to start crying here, but a couple of you that have become friends with me, and you know Gabby, and you've done pages where you like were inspired by her and colored pictures and stuff in her likeness, and it just, this is not an easy thing to do, to go through. Yeah. I don't want to cry. So that's where she is, why you haven't seen her, why you won't see her, and I didn't know how to tell people because I feel like I'm a bad mom. And I know she's good and she'll be a perfect perfect pet there, and she seems, my friend says she's fine. And she can go to the bathroom wherever she wants. She's in a barn, she's outside. And my friend very much spoils her animals. So I know she will be fine, but it doesn't make it hurt any less. And so now I'm not sure the rest of the fur herd. I don't know. Nobody seems to miss her, which is a little sad. But she was very much on her own. You know, she would seek out comfort or attention from my husband and I or the other animals on her terms. The house is a lot quieter without her. Huey, the baby, has taken over her position in the bathroom sink whenever I'm in there. He keeps me company, and he liked the sink before, but now it's like mine all the time. And as you noticed in that last video, Frankie has decided, oh, I like my mom, and especially if she's coloring, I want to... He's not so much as playful as Gabby was. He's just like ready for a nap and he wants to be near me. He is very much mama's boy. So you will still see cats, but just not Gabby. I will pass along any fun stories because I'm sure she will still have stories. That little girl had a lot of personality, and that part did not change just by moving to a new home. So that's been going on. So in a way, I'm kind of glad I've been working a lot because it's kept, I can't say it's kept my mind off it because I still think about her many times a day, but it's given me something so I don't dwell on it. May, in case you haven't seen everything all around everywhere, is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I've been struggling this month. I know I come off a lot. I like to joke and be lighthearted and have a good time, and that's very much who I am. But I have some dark spots in my personality. And I have struggled in the past, severely, had some struggling moments. And through those, I feel I've really become stronger. And as I've gotten older, I've just learned how to prioritize and take care of myself. And a lot of the things we don't always do. But I've just been really struggling this month. And yeah, I'm not sure. I stepped on the scale after I showered this morning and just about fell over. I'm always on a weight loss journey. And I had been doing well, and now I'm not. I don't know what color to do. It says I'm supposed to do all the rest of these stones in peach. I don't have a peach. And I don't really want to do them in peach. I think I'm going to do a different green because I think pink would be too jarring. So I'm going to do like army green. And this is where there's the debate of, I'm like, oh, if you don't like a color, change it up. Oh, this isn't the most beautiful color, but it will work. And then losing what the intention of the artist was in color by number, which Belba Family overall, I think, does a good job. There are some color by number books I have, I'm not going to name them right now, where I don't know that they were even thinking when they came up with a color scheme. I think they were just trying to hurry up and get a book out and try and sell it and make some money because the colors they don't appear to be very well thought out. So I do not mean any disrespect to the artist when I switch up colors. It is usually because of what mediums I have available to me, or sometimes I'm also trying to make a page have significance. If it's, you know, say I had a vanity like this, which if you haven't figured out, that's what this is, a vanity with a stool. If I had something like this in my life, I maybe would have done it, you know, if I had a pink one as a kid, maybe I would have colored it pink. Although with these types of mysteries, you don't always know exactly what you're coloring. So anyway, now that we've chosen this lovely olive green, or hey, that's what it's called. I wonder if this is supposed to be wallpaper. I don't really know, but it is something. Back to what I was saying. So yeah, mental health. I have been struggling this month, and I don't know why. Well, I partly know why. It's the birthday hangover. I already talked about that. Not my favorite time of year. And then Mother's Day always gets me really hard because, number one, I miss my mom a lot. And then it just reflects on my own life. I don't think I've shared this even on my other channel. It's not a secret. It's just an odd thing to talk about with people because it doesn't like just come up in normal conversation. But I have a hard time on Mother's Day because I am a mother, not a cat mother. I have a child that I gave birth to, all of that, and I chose a different family for him. I released him for adoption. I was in college. It could maybe be a long story, color and chat. I don't know. I'm not going to share a lot of it right now. Again, it's not a secret. I'm more than open to talk about it. I just don't want to make people uncomfortable. But if people are interested, I can certainly tell you my story. But so Mother's Day, ever since he was born, which would be, this was the 29th Mother's Day, I didn't get to hug my own child. So that hurts a lot. Oh, maybe I should have just gone to bed. I'm gonna like be a basket case. And then what further causes pain is when I made the choice I did with my son, I had to accept the fact that I may never have an opportunity to be a mother. I mean, that was one of the things I had to face at that time. I always felt I would be and wanted to be. It's been part of my heart for as long, you know, ever since I was a little kid playing with dolls, that I wanted to be a mom. And we don't always get what we want in life. And I have a good faith, and I know there's a reason. I don't know the reason. God has a reason. And so I met my husband, got married, and we both very much wanted children. And it didn't happen. He had quite a few health issues when we were first married that we worked through. And then I was, how old was I? 41? I don't even remember anymore. I still could, you know, it's like I'm not too old to be a mom or to have a baby. And I was diagnosed with cancer, uterine cancer, which the safest, most effective logical treatment was a full hysterectomy. So they did a full hysterectomy on me, took it all out. They started, again, I'm totally, this is supposed to be about Gabby. When they, I could probably save this and do it as a color and chat story too if people want to hear it, but basically, yeah, I had to have everything removed because there was cancer cells inside my uterus. They had not spread, praise Jesus. So the surgery was the only treatment I had. And it could have been so much worse. I praise my doctor, my primary care doctor, and owe her for doing a great job. So that happened. So obviously, biologically, I could not have any children again. And again, my husband had some health issues as well, so we may not have ever been able to biologically have children. So we started looking at alternate routes, foster care, adoption, any option. And I know people make it happen, and I applaud you. We very much were open to adoption, obviously, because I had already gone that route. And to be honest, we can't afford it. It's crazy expensive. It's like in vitro, which is crazy expensive. And we looked at like foreign, we don't care. Actually, I'm I always joke, I go, I'm a shiny white girl from North Dakota, and my husband's Mexican. I don't know if I've ever said that, or because it doesn't really matter, but because we are two different races, we don't care. And we actually were looking, for possibly, like Spanish speaking, because I am not, that was the thing. I agreed with my husband because he's bilingual. His family still primarily speaks Spanish in their home and when they're all together. And it was always like, well, when we have kids, we wanted our home to be bilingual, and I was going to learn Spanish along with our children. But even, the foreign adoptions are just as crazy expensive as domestic, and we honestly can't afford it. So then we started looking at getting into foster care, becoming foster parents with the intent to adopt. But at that time, we started the process, and to be honest, our county just totally, I don't know if they didn't think we were a good match, or, I made the phone calls and we started doing the work, and they just ignored us. And at the same time, my husband started driving truck over the road again, because financially it was what we needed. It was a better paying job than he could get otherwise. And as much as we both wanted a family, we both wanted to be there to parent. It's like, I admire and applaud single parents. A lot of single parents choose to do so. A lot of single parents are put in a position, and they are amazingly strong and beautiful. And I admire you. And that was something neither of us wanted. We wanted to both be the parent. We wanted to both be part of the child's life. And especially when you delve into the world of foster care, there could be potential issues, depending, you know, children don't just end up in foster care just because. So we needed to both be there, and because of the job market, it's, people will say it's just excuses, but again, it didn't work out. And now, again, I'm just like, if it's meant to be. But every year I get older, and, you know, we didn't even care. You know, it's not like we wanted an infant. You know, we were looking at sibling groups and, you know, trying to help. But things just have not fallen into place. So at some point, you just kind of have to accept it's not in the cards for you. So that is why I've been in a funk. And I just finished my page. I can hopefully not have to go into emotional overload anymore. But holy smokes, I wasn't expecting any of this. I just wanted to tell you guys about Gabby. So that's, I guess, why I've been offline. Work primarily, and then it's been too hard mentally. And now you know why. So here's my lovely completed page. I'm going to totally switch gears. I don't think I've completed a page in a color and chat ever. So evidently I need to do these books and just like tear my heart open and share it with all of you. So I apologize, this hasn't been the normal lighthearted, fun Spicy Cat Colors chat with Kathy. It's been a little bit more real life, but we all have a real life, and I was the queen for the longest time of putting on a happy face and hiding the pain for so long. That's how I dealt with stuff, and I still tend to do that, but I know it's not healthy, so now I try to at least feel the emotion. I don't mean to like emotionally vomit on YouTube for all the world to hear, and well, but sometimes we need to, because maybe there's somebody listening right now that is relating to my story, to the bits I've shared, whether it be about Gabby or loss of my parents, or having to work with your husband side by side for hours, or because you've had a child and released for adoption. You've made that sacrifice. Or maybe you're adopted and have always wondered why or what your birth parent may be like. Maybe you needed to hear it. Or you're like me and you have the heart of a mother, but God has not granted you that opportunity. And this whole thing called life, people, it's not easy. It is difficult. And it is why we need to lean on each other. Because you don't know what someone's going through. If you are a seasoned friend and you've watched my channel if you've watched me for years, whether I know I'm new here, but if you've seen me for years, or even if you've been watching me since I've been coloring, you probably had a perception, and because of how I present myself, I am usually very happy and joyful, and I try to spread that in the world. You didn't know this part of me and this part of hurt that I have. So it's because of that. We just need to treat everyone with a little extra kindness, especially those that don't deserve it. The people that are maybe crabby at you or impatient. We don't know what they're dealing with. So just be kind to everyone, and mostly friends. Be kind to yourself. Because I know I am my harshest critic and can beat myself up for choices I've made, for things I've done in my life. And I just need to remind myself that every choice, everything that I've been through, I've done the best I could with what I had at the time, the tools I had at the time. And that's okay. That's all we can ever do, is the best we can with what we have available to us. So if you're struggling, if this is a crappy time of year for you as well, you're not alone. You matter. You matter. And maybe you have an idea of why I say that in every one of my videos, because I don't want anyone to feel the way I feel now or have felt in the past. Any of those things where, sorry, I'm shutting my markers up. I should shut up my mouth is what I should do. So if you made it to this far, thank you. You are a true friend. If you would like me to maybe do, I'm not going to do them anytime soon because I cannot take too much heavy chat at once. I don't think anybody needs that. But if you think it would be helpful or interesting to hear either or both my adoption story or my cancer story, I'm like I said, I'm open to sharing any of that. I have always been a very open person. They're just topics that don't pop up that often, especially in a coloring page. So I am more than willing to share those things if people want to hear them, if it would be helpful to you. And that's where I'm going to leave it. So thank you, my friends. Thank you for hanging out with me while I colored my first page in this book. I didn't put a blotter because it's fun to see. That one's actually really cool. Since when you have the black background, you don't always get the fun things, so it's kind of fun to see. And it went through a little bit, but not too bad. Not too bad. That's really cool. I like that. So, okay, friends. Again, this was out of Stone Mosaic, Book 3. Take care of yourselves. Know you are loved and that you matter to me. I will see you again soon.